YouTubers. This is Jerry Diamond with How to Get Out of Babylon. And I'm trying to get this set up there. Does not rotate. Doesn't want to rotate. I can force a little bit. That's about it. Okay. So I'll try to speak loud. There's a rooster crowing outside. Cattle trying to break into my yard and eat my green grass. They need to learn better. Chapter 3 pages. Now that's all I'm going to read because the next chapter is 9 pages and it'll take me a while to get through that, and I don't feel like doing it right now. So I'm going to read one chapter now, and then we'll do the next chapter in full next time. So it's going to be a short one, just warning you ahead of time. I'm hoping people will listen to this, get the books, read them. I'll repeat again, I'm reading this book, this series. Well, I'm going to get through of it. I might get only one book done. Why not get one book done? But I would advise you, I'd recommend that you get the books and read them, because they're about, from a child's viewpoint, a teenager, whatever, a 12-year-old, 10-year-old viewpoint, the New World Order and spiritual warfare, working through the lives of the adults in the story and everybody in the town. Basically, it's a microcosm of the world, a little town called Centerville at the center of the country, basically, and just about spiritual warfare and about the evil that happens because people allow the enemy into their lives, Satan, his minions, his demons, his snakes, and it comes out visually, graphically. So, warning, traitor, spoiler alert, no. Okay, so John's been grounded because he did something stupid again. He wrecked his bike, he got dirty, I don't know what it was this time, but anyway, the last chapter he got grounded because he was out riding his bike, finding out what the magic in the bicycle. He was out riding his bike and found out it could fly, and it could actually park it in the air and not fall over, dead still in the air. So it has a lot of capability, and now he was just learning about it. He got excited about that and forgot about dinner, and he was late for dinner, so now he's grounded for a whole week. His uncle is the sheriff, and he's very strict, and he has rules, and you have to follow the rules or you have to pay the price. So all right, so here we go. The house wasn't so bad a prison as John expected because of the rain. It started that night right after supper, a slow but steady rain, and it didn't stop. For 9 days it rained down Centerville. Though there had been harder rains, no one around town could ever remember it lasting so long. But the strangest thing was that it rained only on Centerville and the surrounding area. Towns 20 miles away didn't receive a drop. The Sleepy Eye River flooded, which it hadn't done for 7 years, and washed away 3 bridges around the town, including the old Dump Road Bridge. The people on the other side of the river, mostly farmers, had to travel 20 miles south to cross river if they wanted to go to Centerville. The rain made Uncle Bill uneasy. As sheriff, he had a lot more work and problems because of the rain and floods. People called into the office every hour complaining about leaking roofs or overflowing sewer pipes or wrecked bridges, as if he could fix everything by himself in 5 minutes. But the calls that bothered him the most were the reports of funnel clouds, tornado clouds. Centerville was not in an area which normally had tornadoes, yet every day during the rain, people would call in saying they had spotted a big black funnel cloud east of town or west of or north, and moving closer to town, but Sheriff Kramer never saw one. The constant reports worried him. During the long rain of 7 years ago, the last time the Sleepy Eye had flooded, there were also reports of tornado clouds. But the tornadoes, if they really were tornadoes, never destroyed anything except possibly one car which had been found twisted and mangled. That car had belonged to John's parents. Sheriff Kramer was still haunted by that long rain. John's father had reported seeing tornado clouds, but he had said they weren't really tornadoes, but something else. Sheriff Kramer found his brother's wrecked car, but John's parents were not in it. The whole town searched the area, but never found a clue. Sheriff Kramer assumed they were dead. He told John his parents had died in a car accident. John was only 4 years old when he moved in with his uncle's family. He was too young to remember much about the long rain or the stories about tornadoes. All he knew was that his parents were gone. Sheriff Kramer was in his office talking on the phone about a broken sewer pipe when he saw a black-suited man coming up the steps through the rain. When he came into the office, he snapped down his umbrella, shaking water all over the floor. George, Uncle Bill's deputy and radio dispatcher, groaned when he saw the water. He had just mopped. He turned his wheelchair around and rolled over to the closet to get the mop again. The man paid him no attention to him. Sheriff, the man said, tipping his derby, showing his orange-red hair. He acted as if he had known Sheriff Kramer for 20 years. Horace Grimsby of Goliath Toys, remember? The bicycle race safety contest and best looking bike contest which will grace your fair town the day after the delightful children leave school for the summer? Yes, of course, Uncle Bill said, shaking Grimsby's hand. What a limp handshake, the sheriff thought to himself, like shaking hands with a corpse. Grimsby kept grinning, but his smile seemed painted on, like the one on a puppet. When most people smile, they have happy eyes, but Grimsby's pale, reddened eyes were eyes that only watched. The reason for my visit is that I need some more posters of proof announcing the contest, Grimsby said. He produced a long cardboard tube from underneath his black suit coat. It contained the same kind of posters that John had seen in the toy store window. No problem, Sheriff Kramer said. Will you stamp these, George? The young deputy wheeled over and took the posters. I have one other small request, Sheriff, Grimsby said, grinning even more broadly. Will you be so kind as to judge the safety contest? As the man of authority in this town, you know the rules of bicycle safety better than anyone, I dare say. Would you do me that favor? Yes, of course, Sheriff Kramer said. Unless I get called away that morning by an emergency, you'll need to get a backup, Judge. Certainly, Horace. Grimsby nodded rapidly. I thought of approaching the school principal, a Mr. Smedlow. After all, the contest and race will take place on school property. And a grand day it will be, a grand day. Yes, sir. Goliath Toys, giants of fun, fun, fun. Our motto will be honored to hold these contests in the fair burg of Centertown. Centerville, Sheriff Kramer corrected. Yes, of course, Centerville, Grimsby said, his smile stretching to his ears. How utterly silly of me. Well, it's been a long day in such nasty weather. I would have sworn I saw a tornado cloud this morning. Gave me quite a fright. Yes, well, I need to be checking on some bridge repairs. If you'll excuse me, Mr. Grimsby. Sheriff Kramer put on his raincoat and hat and went outside. Grimsby tipped his deputy, opened his umbrella, and followed the sheriff out the door. After distributing his posters all over town, Grimsby went to a small black truck with Goliath Toys, giants of fun, 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 painted on the steep sides of the back. Grimsby slammed the door and, making sure no one was watching, pulled aside the black curtain that separated the cab from the rest of the truck. He picked up a red telephone, dialed 3 numbers, and began to talk in a whisper. I haven't located it yet, he said. For once he wasn't grinning. This contest thing should bring it out. The rain is perfectly miserable. Grimsby laughed as if he somehow enjoyed a rainstorm that made the residents of Centerville suffer. He listened for a moment, then smiled, laughing at what he heard. Why not, he said. A little fire always makes things more interesting. Besides, it might work. It would speed the plan up. Grimsby listened some more, then put the telephone away, stared out into the falling rain. Suddenly, far away, a long flash of lightning split the sky, followed by a loud clap of thunder. Grimsby began to laugh again. That's it. Sorry. Fire at the McCradles. So there's a fire coming up. Obviously, a false flag fire. No, a fire caused by somebody, like in the food warehouses lately, food distribution plants. Walmart, I don't know about Costco. There's a list of them. Look up Health Ranger, Mike Adams Health Ranger, look it up. A lot of fires have been destroying food shipping capability. So get ready for shortages, get ready for the end of the world, get ready for the shit to hit the fan, get ready for the posterior excrement to impact the rotating oscillator. Get ready to get out of Dodge, G-O-O-D, get out of Dodge, G-O-O-D, get out of Dodge, get out of city, get out of the city. Unless you're in Northwest Arkansas. Hey, Bonnie, how you doing? Anyway, yeah, large towns don't mean a large city. I mean, I'm talking large city. This morning I had a good call with a friend from California, Southern California. And they said, what's a large city? I said, well, 1 million is a large city, obviously. 10 million is a really large city. But, don't try not to be in a city that's larger than 100,000. What I'd say. Your best thing is to be out of town. And this friend has a property in town and a property out of town, so that's good. Should be fine. He's got children, and I'd like to be there closer to people, help people like that, but I'm stuck where I'm at pretty much, and I don't get any help to go anywhere. I was going to get a vehicle. I wish I could get a vehicle. I'd like to have a vehicle. If anybody can swing that, put on your wish list, my wish list, my Amazon wish list for how to get out of Babylon, so I can travel down and help people. I'd love to go down and help get Jack out of where she's at, go down and help Bonnie, with anything she needs help with. There are different people around here that are a lot of elderly women, 70, 80 years old, that are homesteading, with no help from anybody. And that irritates me, and I wish I could do something about it, but, I'm doing what I can do here, and I'm passing on my information, my knowledge that I've accumulated over the years, so I'm hoping I can stay alive and stay cognizant, long enough to be able to be a big help to people. That's my goal, my hope, and my plan. So anyway, please, please, please get these books, read them. Don't just sit and wait for me to read them to you. There's a lot of lessons in these books, and the fact of the matter is that we are being warred upon. We're into fifth generation warfare. If you do not know what a fifth generation warfare is, what a fifth generation war is, find out. Do some research. There's articles on the internet about it. There's one written by a Marine colonel. And here's the fact of the matter. You do all the research you want. It goes exactly along with what I've been saying from the start. There's only one way to win a fifth generation warfare. We are at war. We've been warred upon by China, the elections, our economy, products, importing, exporting, that whole situation. We're being warred upon. The media's been taken over. Obviously, defund the media, defund the sheriff's department. No, defund the media, defund the police. My ass, defund the media, defund the medical industry, defund the Hollywood entertainment industry, defund the attorneys, defund the educational industry. Then we'd be getting somewhere. But we're not going to happen. So anyway, I'm just grousing. Next topic would be pick a different topic, Jerry. But yeah, we need to be ready for what's coming down the pike. It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be simple, and it's not going to be short. We're already saying this war with Russia and Ukraine is going to go on for years, not days, not weeks, not months, but years. Kind of hard to imagine, but that's what usually happens if it's a serious situation, which apparently it is. And we can't judge it. You can't judge by what you don't believe what you hear in the media. None of it's true. Probably none of it's true. What's really going on there, we don't know. You don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to make a judgment. I have some ideas, but anyway, get ready for hard times, please. Be understanding that we are being warred upon financially, medically. Water supplies are going to take a hit. Cities' power supplies are going to take a hit. Communications is going to take a hit. Transportation is going to take a hit. The day will come when you're not going to be able to travel freely. So if you want to travel, if you want to relocate, do it now. Do it now. Do it now. Do it now. Drive now or walk later. DNOWL. There are people that have moved here just because of that saying to Arkansas, anyway, from Texas. A friend was looking in Missouri, Ava, Missouri area, because it's the center of the Ozark Plateau, and then heard me say drive now or walk later, and she's like, oh my gosh, my family's all in Texas, so I better look in Arkansas. It gets closer. There'll be a lot less walking involved. True, it will be. A couple 300 miles is a lot of walking. If you can avoid that for people, if your friends or families all coming from the southwest, get as close to the rim of the edge of the Ozark Plateau as you can. Buy a property, hunker down, get ready to take on survivors, get ready to take on floating, the floaters in the water, and the universal septic tank of life. They're going to be floaters, sinkers, and floaters. Take on the floaters. Anyway, I'm sorry about that. That's bad imagery. I'm just talking. If your family's all in Chicago, located up in the northern corner of the plateau. If they're in Colorado, if they're out in the west, located on the western tip of the plateau. There's a northern tip, and in fact, the northern tip points right at Turtle Mountain. Okay. The western tip is pointing toward Colorado, the west of the Rockies, and then the eastern tip pointing toward South Carolina, and the southern tip pointing toward Texas, Mexico, whatnot. So please, do what you can to help other people. All right, I'm going to shut up here. I'm tired. Good night. God bless everybody. Now, let me see if anybody's on it. Probably not. Nobody. If you're going to come here and you don't want to help people, don't come here. If you want to come here just to save your own ass, and don't want to help other people, don't even show up, because you'll be taken out. Justice will happen, is what I'm saying. The law of God is going to be more and more in effect, and probably karma or God's law is going to catch up with you. So don't do it. If you want to be selfish, go to the Pacific Northwest, where everybody's pretty much selfish. All right. Good night. Nobody here. Hey, buddy, how you doing? I'm going to say goodbye. So I just read the chapter, so you can listen to it. Rewind. Listen to it. Okay. Good night. Goodbye. God bless. I might get on later. Who knows? Maybe. 7-ish again. So if I get hunkered down and feel like it. All right, good night. Bye-bye. God bless.